Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a journey of self-reflection, where we'll explore the intricate tapestry of human nature and our place in the cosmos. I'm your host, and today we're delving deep into the profound question: are we merely tiny egos in a vast universe? Or could it be that we're living within the confines of a simulated reality? As inhabitants of this blue planet, we often find ourselves at the center of our own universe. Our ego's convinced that everything revolves around us. It's a trait deeply ingrained in our nature, the self-serving, sometimes arrogant belief that we are the pinnacle of creation. From the first steps on the moon to the probing of distant galaxies, we have endeavored to understand the cosmos. Yet, in our pursuit of knowledge, we must question whether our limited perspective skews our understanding of the vastness that lies beyond. Picture this. We, as mere mortals, attempt to measure the unimaginable expanse of the cosmos with the tools at our disposal. Our instruments, no matter how advanced, are like using a magnifying glass to explore an entire landscape. We use what little we have to comprehend the enormity of the universe, yet can our measurements truly capture the grandeur of the cosmos, or are we just scratching the surface? Now let's take a leap into the speculative.
So, do you want to take a leap of faith? Or become an old man, filled with regret, waiting to die alone?
What if, in the grand scheme of things, our reality is but a simulated construct? Could we be living within a digital realm, oblivious to the higher dimensions that may exist beyond our comprehension? Enter the simulation hypothesis.
We are almost certainly living in a simulation.
The odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions.
I'm waiting for someone to convince me that we don't live in a simulation.
The idea that what we perceive as reality is, in fact, a computer-generated simulation. But wait, you may ask, how can we claim that no computer can simulate a universe when we ourselves might be living within a simulated mini-universe? Imagine, if you will, a civilization far advanced, dwelling in Universe 6 Earth, in the year 2138 under the guidance of Dr. Tetsuo Kusanagi. What if, in their pursuit of knowledge and something else, they've created a synthetic event horizon, encapsulating an entire universe within a laboratory? Suddenly the notion that we too might be living within a simulated reality becomes a plausible scenario. Our measurements, our observations, all within the constraints of a controlled experiment conducted by a highly advanced civilization. So, where does this leave us? It's a humbling realization that our perceived centrality in the cosmos might be nothing more than a product of our own egos. As we peer into the depths of space, let us reflect on the possibility that we are but a tiny fragment of a much larger reality. It would not convince you if I just suddenly say we are living in a simulation. So instead I'm going to say, what if we are living in a simulation? We as human beings who have invested everything into our lives, if suddenly a person came along with evidence to prove we live in a simulation, if that implies it nullifies everything you've ever invested in, and thus nullifying the entirety of your intelligence, no one can accept that, not even to themselves.
The more the victim invests,
The less chance they will turn back.
eventually, when the opponent is challenged or questioned, it means the victim's investment and thus his intelligence is questioned. No one can accept that. Not even to themselves.
Now we unravel the question. Did the cosmic chicken or the cosmic egg come first? The truth is you need a blueprint for both in order for such a system to even exist. The year was 2138, September, Universe 6. Earth Dr. Kusanagi and his team about to launch their newest simulation. Indistinguishable from reality. What was the purpose? Part of it was a prison without bars for the death row inmates of the real world. Then, in order to cover the costs of running the game, regular players get to play the game, paying $49.95 a month every month. to play and have the experience of a lifetime. Literally.
The 9-to-5 life, getting up at 4 through 5 a.m., putting on proper attire, taking a quick bite of your morning breakfast as you hop in the car. As you turn on the engines, thoughts like, what am I gonna do after work? Can't wait for this day to end, flood your mind. Guess what? You hate your job. Everything that you've done in life up until this point have brought you to this exact same situation you find yourself in. Your parents told you to work hard, study for those tests, go to college.
So the machine was turned on. From the simulation's perspective, you call it the Big Bang, 13.8 billion in game years later. What about when human beings lacked science and theology was all they had? Monotheistic religions such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all foretold of the one true creator they supposed to worship. But the douchebaggery of man has over time corrupted the religions
for their own selfish, self-serving, and personal gains. After all, those are the pitfalls of man, no matter if you believe we're created or we're a product of evolution. At the core, humans are self-serving, greedy consumers. Are they capable of redemption, twisting truth into falsehood in the fear of getting canceled? Now, we fast forward to recent times, in the year 1905. Albert Einstein wrote the Nobel Prize-winning equation of general relativity. In 1954, CERN was founded. In 2008, CERN's Large Hadron Collider Particle Accelerator was activated. In the year 2012, the Higgs boson particle was discovered. This episode, we are talking about how dangerous it is to be ego-driven, seeing the tree in front of you and miss the entire forest behind it. There were many biases that arose throughout the ages. Even the scientists right now are either unaware or aware of. For example, later it will be explained in depth in part 2 of how the double-slit experiment will prove you all live in my simulation. Because the observer effect was coined and written. Truthfully speaking, a cop-out, to conclude that our act of observing alters the result and then deem that as normal quantum mechanical behavior, as you remember in that video. Briefly, if Rachel's Ugandan knuckle assistant was to set up his camera and observe Rachel suddenly turns into a beautiful big cleavage supermodel version. But in the real outside world of base reality, no matter how much you observe a woman, she is not going to turn into a bikini model, let alone a rock turning into chocolate. So why does scientists conform to the Ferris? Because if they don't and then say we must be living in a simulation, they'll be labeled a quack, with their academia stripped and cast out, canceled into oblivion. When enough people in a community agree with an agenda, you can twist truth into falsehood and even betray humanity to please your masters or to avoid the consequences out of fear. I am about to reveal a fallacy the scientific community has been doing since 2021. A fallacy is a flaw or error in reasoning that weakens an argument or leads to an incorrect conclusion. It's a deceptive or misleading argument that may sound plausible but is logically unsound. Fallacies can arise from mistakes in the premises, faulty assumptions, or a misinterpretation of evidence. Let's begin with a term we've all heard: light years. Imagine a unit of distance, not time. A light year is the distance light travels in one Earth year. But here's where confusion often sets in. Conceptualize this. You're not making a time-traveling phone call when connecting with a friend in a different time zone. Similarly, observing an object X light years away doesn't mean you're seeing it as it was X years ago. Consider our sun. When you gaze at it, you're observing light that took about 8 minutes to travel from the sun to your eyes. It's about light travel time, not the age of the sun at that very moment. Now, let's debunk the fallacy with a real-time example. Imagine you're in Asia, and your friend is in the USA, a 24-hour time difference. If you call your friend on the 24th in Asia, it's still the 23rd in the USA. But is this a time-traveling call into the past? Absolutely not. Similarly, when astronomers observe objects light years away, they're not peering into the past, but this is the exact nonsense and quackery the mainstream science community perpetuates. They're witnessing the present based on the time it takes for light to reach their telescopes. Scientists observe distant galaxies, stars, and cosmic phenomena, not as they were in some bygone era, but as they are when their light reaches us. So, let's dispel the fallacy. Light years are about distance, not time. When we explore the universe, we're not time travelers, but rather voyagers through the vast cosmic tapestry. Brace yourselves, cosmic truth seekers, as we embark on a journey into the depths of the universe and the controversy that has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Recently, the James Webb Space Telescope, hailed as the eye that could pierce the cosmic veil, made headlines. It claimed to have glimpsed fully developed mega-galaxies in the dark ages of the universe. A groundbreaking revelation, or is it? Let's apply the critical lens we've just crafted. We understand that observing distant objects doesn't equate to time travel. So are we witnessing fully formed galaxies from the cosmic dawn? Or is there more to this story? Here's where the plot thickens. Some keen-eyed skeptics in the scientific community argue that this proclamation is, in fact, a fallacy, a distortion of the true nature of the universe. According to the fallacy we've explored, observing objects light years away means witnessing them as they are now.
The James Webb Space Telescope never disproved the Big Bang. Here's how that falsehood spread. By Keith Cooper, published September 7, 2022. The Big Bang Theory is still on solid ground despite pseudo-scientific attempts to twist James Webb Space Telescope's findings. The James Webb Space Telescope just has not disproved the Big Bang, despite an article about a pseudo-scientific theory that went viral in August and which mischaracterized quotes from an astrophysicist to create a false narrative that the Big Bang didn't happen. Although the James Webb Space Telescope has only been conducting science operations for a few months, it has already made some iconic discoveries, including the detection of what could be some of the earliest galaxies ever seen, that existed just 200 million years after the Big Bang. Although issues with calibrating the instruments might mean that some of these galaxies are not as distant as first thought, JWST has almost certainly broken the record with some of them. JWST is designed to find the very earliest galaxies in the universe. Alison Kirkpatrick, an astrophysicist at the University of Kansas, told Space.com. One of the things that it found is that those galaxies are possibly more massive than we thought they would be. While another surprising thing is that it revealed that these galaxies have a lot of structure, and we didn't think galaxies were this well organized so early in the universe. Cosmology's standard model describes how the first galaxies were formed through a hierarchical process involving small clouds of gas and clusters of stars coming together to form larger nascent galaxies. That these early galaxies seem a little more evolved than expected in JST's observations is an intriguing astrophysical puzzle that confounds current models of galaxy growth. Nature wrote a piece on the research on July 27, in which Kirkpatrick said, "Right now I find myself lying awake at 3 in the morning, wondering if everything I've ever done is wrong." It's this quote that was later misused. "It was a good quote," Kirkpatrick said. "I tried to be a pretty forthright person, and I meant what I said." that everything I had learned about the first galaxies based on previous telescopic data probably wasn't the complete picture. And now we have more data so we can refine our theories. In a world where disinformation strikes, one man stands alone to defy the odds. Kirkpatrick went back to her research and forgot about her quote. That was until mid-August, when she received a text from a friend saying that there was an article, originally published by an organization called the Institute of Art and Ideas, but now being republished on mainstream news sites, saying that JWST's observations of distant galaxies had disproved the Big Bang, which is not correct. I saw it and thought, this is horrible. But it's also nonsense. Nobody is going to read this, Kirkpatrick said. The next thing I know, everybody has read it, and things started to take a stressful turn for Kirkpatrick. Though her immediate friends and colleagues knew her well enough to know that she had been misquoted, more distant acquaintances started getting in touch, asking if she'd really said it, and even then came the emails, dozens cluttering her inbox, from various people who had read the article and believed it. People even called her phone. I didn't reach out to anybody. I didn't want to engage, she said. It upset me because there are a lot of people very interested in science, but who don't have the background to distinguish fact from fiction and think it's true. In a land of secrets, of science denialism. None of this is surprising to Lee McIntyre, a philosopher of science at Boston University and author of the book How to Talk to a Science Denier. McIntyre is keen to point out the difference between people who deliberately peddle anti-science narratives and people who get sucked into believing it because they don't know any better. While researching his book, McIntyre spent several days at a flat earth convention talking to believers and came away with a better understanding of the method science deniers use regardless of the topic at hand. The first step in science denial is cherry-picking evidence. McIntyre told Space.com. Number 2 is that they lie about conspiracy theories. Number 3 is they engage in illogical reasoning. Number 4 is they rely on fake experts and denigrate real experts. And number 5, they insist that science has to be perfect in order to be credible. McIntyre said that the tactics employed in Lerner's article are classic misdirections used by science deniers. For example, Lerner uses logical fallacies, such as implying that in the Big Bang model, more distant galaxies should look larger because in an expanding universe their light should have left when they were closer to it. This premise makes absolutely no sense. These were the farthest galaxies when their light left them, and they're still the farthest galaxies now, so they shouldn't appear any bigger with distance.
Expert voices within the scientific community question the veracity of these claims. They urge us to dig deeper, to scrutinize the data, and to separate fact from fiction. Are these fully developed mega-galaxies truly from the Dark Ages, or is the telescope's lens distorting the reality it seeks to unveil? As seekers of truth, let's call for transparency. Let's demand a closer look at the methods, the data, and the interpretations. The universe, after all, has nothing to hide. To the cosmic enthusiasts, the stargazers, and the truth seekers, let's delve deeper into the cosmic puzzle and ensure that the revelations of our universe are as genuine as the stars that light up the night sky. The James Webb Space Telescope, the Cosmic Sentinel, claimed to unveil fully developed mega-galaxies in the dark ages of the universe. But here's where the plot thickens. These celestial behemoths, seemingly materializing out of cosmic thin air, raise eyebrows among those who remember what the Hubble Space Telescope showed us. It's a cosmic mystery, a puzzle challenging our understanding of the universe. What's more perplexing are the bold statements from respected figures in the scientific realm, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Michio Kaku, luminaries in the field, suggest rewriting the textbooks, hinting at a universe older than the established 13.8 billion years.
of the cosmos and the author of a bunch of books that might need to be tweaked now if it turns out that the universe is older than we think. Hey, Professor, I'm thinking of some of my favorites, the God equation, physics of the future, future of humanity. Most of them say the universe is about 13 billion years old. What if it's not?
Well, that's the problem. The James Webb Space Telescope is upsetting the apple cart. All of a sudden, we realize that we may have to rewrite all the textbooks about the beginning of the universe. Now, it takes many billions of years to create a galaxy, like the Milky Way galaxy, with 100 billion stars, many billions of years old. But the James Webb Telescope has identified 6 galaxies that exist half a billion years after the Big Bang that are up to 10 times bigger than the Milky Way galaxy. That shouldn't happen. There should not be primordial galaxies that are bigger than the Milky Way galaxy that are only half a billion years old. Something is wrong. We may have to revise our theory of the creation of the universe.
But here's where our cosmic eyebrows raise even higher. Are we witnessing a rewriting of established facts to fit the narrative painted by the JWST? Let's rewind the cosmic clock and examine the sequence of events. The mega-galaxies that allegedly took eons to form suddenly manifest in the JWST's lens. A cosmic enigma or a potential misinterpretation. We've previously established that observing distant objects doesn't mean peering into the past. Are we witnessing a leap of logic, a twisting of conclusions, all in the name of a cosmic revelation or fear of cancellation from the government? Why has these prominent science giants not say, or maybe someone at the tech labs of this simulation uploaded a mathematically impossible mega-galaxy into the dark ages? So everyone can come to the conclusion, we live in a simulation. Instead, they conform and distort this conclusion and say we need to tear down pre-established facts and create new ones to suit our career's survival. This cosmic controversy isn't just about distant galaxies, it's about the integrity of scientific discourse. Are we succumbing to confirmation bias, adjusting our understanding to avoid cosmic cancel culture? As seekers of cosmic truth, let us demand transparency, scrutinize the data, and ensure that our quest for knowledge doesn't bend under the weight of bias. We've pondered the simulation hypothesis, the idea that our reality is a carefully crafted code, lines of cosmic programming. Now, let's indulge in a cosmic twist. Imagine this. We observe through the lens of the James Webb Space Telescope a mega-galaxy fully developed in the dark ages of the universe. A feat that defies the very laws of cosmic evolution. But what if, just what if, this isn't a cosmic anomaly but a telltale sign of a glitch in the simulation? Picture a cosmic programmer in the lab uploading the impossible. A mega-galaxy defying the logical progression of time. We've learned that distance isn't a temporal voyage. Are we witnessing a hiccup in the cosmic code? A momentary blip in the meticulously programmed dance of galaxies? Now let's turn our gaze to the next frontier, the very birthplace of our cosmic symphony, the ground zero of the Big Bang. If we follow the logic, could we perhaps expect to find a singularity waiting for us, uploaded by the cosmic architect? It might sound preposterous, but in the realm of simulation hypothesis, where impossibilities become possibilities, such speculations take a cosmic dance of their own. From the perspective of the cosmic programmer, we might be mere observers in a vast simulation, witnessing the scripted wonders of an artificially crafted universe. As we navigate the cosmos, let us keep an open mind to the cosmic ballet of glitches, anomalies, and the unforeseen twists that might just be lines of code in the grand simulation of existence. Until we decipher the cosmic script, keep questioning, keep exploring, and may the lines of reality reveal their secrets in the dance of the simulated cosmos.